Hello, everyone, and welcome to Booming Encore's Tweet Talk. This is where we talk about what's been trending over the past week and share our thoughts and opinions. Today, I'm welcoming Mike Drak. Mike is the author of Victory Lap Retirement, and my name is Susan Williams, and I'm the founder of Booming Encore. Great to see you, Mike.
Good morning, Susan.
So, Mike, let's start it off. I posted a post this week on internet privacy and specifically people's concerns with it. There was a survey completed by Malbytes Lab, and they found that 96% of the 4,000 people surveyed felt that online privacy was a concern. But when they actually diced down the information, they discovered that baby boomers were probably the most concerned generation. What do you think? Are you concerned about your online privacy?
Oh, for sure. I'm just scared that, someone's going to take advantage and get some personal information. I'm scared about using my Visa card to purchase things. And you see those commercials on TV where they have title changes on your house. You could lose ownership of your house, or someone could end up putting a mortgage on your house and you're not even aware of it. So yeah, there's scary things out there.
There is. I think it's just like, to me, it's almost like a version of our society, but it's just moved online. Just like there is in our society, there's people that are always trying to, rip you off, or fraudsters or whatever. But it's just an online community now that we've kind of shifted to.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think, I hate to say it, we have to be realistic and recognize that this is really our new reality. I mean, we've seen the data breaches with large entities such as Facebook or Equifax or Marriott. I mean, all of them have had major breaches of our privacy and our data. So I think we have to recognize that if we want to go online, this is sort of the cost of admission. And there's probably a few things that we can do to at least try and shore ourselves up. For instance, in the post, I shared that make sure you keep an eye, like you said, on your financial statements and your finances, and make sure there's no funny activity going on. Also, really be careful as to who you're sharing your information with, and make sure it's a trusted resource, as much as they can't necessarily guarantee it, but there are definitely organizations that take it much more seriously than others. Any other thoughts on this, Mike?
I would just say, look at your banking statements almost daily, at least weekly. And look at your credit card statements very, very carefully, because, there's all kinds of funny things showing up on these cards, right?
Yeah.
And, you got to be careful. So careful.
So careful. Now, here's a different topic I thought was quite interesting. There was an interesting article published called "Retirement Villages Have Had Their Day. Baby Boomers Are Rethinking Retirement." And specifically in Australia, they sort of did a design activity with some older retirees on what they would like to see sort of in a living arrangement or housing arrangement. And what they came up with was what they called an inclusive design, which turns out that is applicable to people of all ages. It was an area where, they were focused on living, learning, working, and playing. And it's an interesting concept, and it certainly goes against the grain of retirement villages. Does this surprise you at all, Mike?
Not really. And it came, up when I was looking at what the pandemic was doing. And I'm saying, emotional living, especially during these times, because, if you live together under one roof, and somehow we got totally away from that. And it doesn't have to be under one roof, but in close proximity. So say you had to go back to work and the schools aren't in place and daycares aren't running, at least your parents could take care of the kids and things like that. So I think there's a lot of advantages to it. I think it makes sense to go back to that kind of format, and there's a lot of cost savings too. I think the world's changing, and plus the added thing is that old people need to hang around young people, because the young stuff rubs off, and it makes you happy. You're not isolated, and they keep you young at heart too, because they're talking about things that probably you wouldn't have been involved with in the first place, and it makes life interesting. So I think there's a lot of advantages to it. Going to a retirement home, hanging around with a bunch of old people, doesn't excite me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, initially, I think quite a few years ago, I thought that would be kind of fun, hanging out with your friends sort of thing. But as I get closer, and closer to retirement, a part of me is like, but I want to stay so engaged. I want to keep,
That's
doing
right.
things that, anybody of any age can do. I don't want to be isolated and only playing golf or tennis or something along those lines, or this endless sort of cruise ship kind of lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to mix it up, and if you hang around with old people, you're going to start feeling and acting old because it rubs off on you. So you need that mix, and I don't love.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there for sure. Okay, Michael, next topic I thought we could chat about is you wrote an excellent piece on Dr. Fauci as being a retirement rebel and a role model as being a retirement rebel. Do you want to just maybe share a little bit why A, you think he's such a great role model, and B, what exactly do you mean by retirement rebel?
Well, let me start off with the retirement rebel piece. I really believe that we have to change the old life model, where we would, go to school and then work for 35 plus years and then retire, right, to a life of leisure. It doesn't work anymore in these days because of increasing longevity. So I wanted to come up with a new model that made sense, that reduced risk and fear and, the fear of running out of money and things like that. And I kind of like it where people work towards financial independence. And once they reach that point, they pivot into something else like part-time work or something, something that will keep them involved, provided it's work they love to do, work that continues to generate some active income, which reduces these other financial risks, like namely living too long. And I look for people that have that kind of lifestyle. And Tony Fauci is a perfect example. Here's a guy, he's 79 years old, and he's working at something that he loves to do. And he's trying to save people's lives, right? He cares about people and he's involved. And, I think it keeps him alive. It keeps him younger because he's out there at age 79, jogging with his wife. He runs like 3 miles a day. I think it's just so exciting to show what people are capable of. And he has no intention of stopping. He loves what he does, and he's going to keep on doing it for as long as he can. So those are the kind of lifestyles I look at. Those are the people that you look at and they're happy because they're involved. They haven't retired from anything. And they're just having a life of Riley. So, he's a perfect example of it, right?
Yeah, he is a great example. And like you said, there's so much research now that staying engaged and having a purpose and, really does help you stay younger feeling anyways. And
Sure.
it really is good for your health and so many other benefits. So anyways, when you get a chance, everybody take a look at Mike's article. It's really good. And he gets into it in quite a bit of detail as to how some of this activity of these retirement rebels can really help. Okay, Mike, last topic. Have you been laughing this week at all?
Yeah, I had a laugh. I was doing my taxes, doing my income taxes.
Okay, because there was a post that we shared this week, which on how laughter is so good for you. And I know right now that a lot of people possibly aren't feeling like a good laugh. So I thought we could close it out with a joke. Do you have any good jokes?
Not offhand.
Okay, well, I've got one. It's a groaner, but what does an 80-year-old pirate say?
What's that?
I'm 80.
You got me laughing.
Yeah, there you go.
Really bad.
I know, it's a bad one.
But you see, it shows the power of laughter.
Yeah.
As long as you laugh, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how silly it is. As long as you can laugh at it and you make other people laugh, life's pretty good. And that's what we need more of today.
Absolutely. I think so. And so make sure you have a good laugh out there, everybody, because if you check the post out, it tells you all the reasons why it's so good for you and it's good for your health. So even in these tough times, surround yourself with people that make you laugh and make sure you're helping them laugh too. So on that note, thanks for your time, Mike. Always appreciated.
You take care, Susan. Nice talking to you.
And to everybody out there, hope you found this information valuable and it helps you live your best booming encore. See you again.